Alright, hello everyone and welcome back. This is part 16 of my Witcher 3 Blood and Wine Let's Play series. Recap of part 15. Learned we were almost a knight. We need one more, knightly virtue in order to obtain a sword from a lake. After that, we went and helped out a lover try and kill a beast for his, fiance at the time. So we killed a Spriggan and they're gonna go get married and all that. Didn't participate in a Gwent tournament because we don't want to use the Skellige deck. It kind of sucks. And we went off and saved a barber from his death because he sucks at cutting hair. And then we picked up some treasure and now we're here. We are going to continue the main storyline where we're meeting our vampire friend Regis over at a local cemetery. So let's go over there. Meet with him and continue actually the main storyline. So if you've been waiting, I can't even remember which part we were doing main storyline stuff from. It was so long ago, but we're back into it now. We're gonna keep doing it. So let's go do that. I called for Roach, and Roach did not appear. So I don't know if the issue is the elevation, the slope, this sort of narrow walkway we were on. I am getting some pretty bad frame rate issues, so sorry for that. Alright, there's Roach, so we're gonna go ride Roach. So one of the things that I did before starting up this part is I checked out the amount of points that we need to do some of the extra Witcher mutation upgrades. And we have one ability point to use, and we need 2 of them. So, not gonna do that, unfortunately. So we're just gonna wait until we're level 45. Right now we're level 44. But once we're level 45, we'll do that. Okay, we got an overturned caravan. I don't care about that. Got some deer. We are at the cemetery. Let me get off of Roach. Seems like we've got
Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Well. Uh-oh. What do we got over here? Okay. 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 That's something. Nope, we're gonna use Quen. Put a shield on ourselves. Okay, we've got an arch spore that's being a pain in the ass. Let me kill this ghoul first. It's even more of a pain in the ass. Alright, killed that one. And we got him, okay.
How do you like that silver?
This is really what we're gonna do? This is really how we're doing this. Are we done? So you're hurting my boy. Monster bones. Engineer and pug lover. Hey! Sounds like me. Alright, so let's head back up to where we're supposed to meet Regis. Let me eat some chicken. I'm like the Hound, I love chicken. And we're gonna head in and talk with our boy Regis. Or at least knock and see if he's here.
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here.
Okay. That's okay. We gotta dive in the well or something. Of course, Kikimores. Because why not? Okay. I can't really see what I'm doing. of a mother. I eat some fish. Okay. Let me burn the eggs.
Stench.
So last thing we want is more Kikimores coming out at us. Well, we got our wish. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Alright, so we got the main Kikimore. We've got our boys over here, the small ones. We've got a corpse, well, a pile of bones. Not a corpse. That would imply that it is recently, or at least I think it has to have like flesh and stuff to be corpse. Anyways, we're not going to argue what a corpse is, because that's not why we're here. Just kind of seeing what other stuff is in the crypts. Okay, we've found a different entrance. Of course, we loot everything. I think our boy Regis is in here. Okay, so now we've got a cutscene. We're going to let this play out. There he is.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Detlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Man, frame rate sucks.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
What's going on with our boy? You okay, Regis? You're gonna have to fight? 'Cause I don't want you turning into a vampire and trying to bite us.
It's Detlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Yeah.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy of Kermoran, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Detlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Detlaff's hideout.
Okay, that makes sense. So we're gonna use our sort of vision from the hand and find the hideout, and as well as see maybe why he's killing all these people. Maybe he reveals something, or in like his watching of people is sort of gonna reveal some of that. Also, Regis picked out the ring. Let's ask him about that.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Detlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Okay. So, in case you don't know, the Conjunction of Spheres was an event that happened way in the past before any of the games, and it brought a lot of the magical creatures into the world of humans. It was sort of a crossing of all of the other worlds and universes, or maybe even galaxies, depends on how you're viewing it. We sort of see it at the end of Witcher 3. We participate in crossing over some of those sort of spheres into the other worlds. And so if you want to look into that, go look up sort of like the ending of Witcher 3, when we're traveling with, I forget the elf's name, but there was an elf that sort of helped out Ciri, who is another main character from the main game. So we can worry about that later.
Can't you just summon Detlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Detlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Okay. So, the only person I can think of is Gaunter O'Dim, who is in the Hearts of Stone expansion, as well as appears in minor cameo spots around the regular game, but he's sort of like the devil. But he's got like unlimited magical power, can do just about anything. He stopped time a few instances in the Hearts of Stone expansion, during one of which he takes like a wooden spoon and pokes it through a guy's eye and kills him. So, I mean, he's got power over time and space, so that's who I'm thinking, but I could be wrong.
Covenarius spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Detlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
Uh-oh. Good or no good that we have to summon help? Maybe good. I mean, it'll be less time for us, but I think we're gonna... Oh. Ooh. The hand still moves. It's still got life in it, then. I wonder if Detlaff can feel it. Like, knows that is... I mean, technically he regrew a hand, but I wonder if he can still, like, tell where it is. I'm assuming not, or else he'd probably be right here. Is he talking with the raven? Is this Game of Thrones?
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Always.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
We've got lots of secrets from our travels.
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Yeah, because so from whatever part that we found Regis in originally, he was technically dead. It said that he was like encapsulated. I don't know if he was like boiled down and like stuck in mortar in a castle or something. Maybe a regeneration. That would be interesting.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detlaff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
That's right.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
Okay. So that may actually be, if we do have to kill Detlaff, how we take care of that. It's gonna have to come from Regis, unfortunately. And what about being dead?
Gotta ask you the big question, one everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlaff, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
That's death for you.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Interesting. And that's a great point. Yeah, if you have forever to live, you kind of do whatever, not really rush along, whereas, we've got, albeit towards whatever Regis' point of view, a short lifespan. I mean, to us, difference between 20 and 100 years is a lot. I don't really care about the not drinking blood. Be interesting to see if he's done any traveling and stuff, and then after that. Maybe we'll do number 2 after this.
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, but first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlaff bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
That's right, yeah. Because we beat the game already, yeah.
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back. Defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ah.
Ooh. Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now.
Interesting. So I'm sure depending on where you are in the main story, that sort of conversation, or at least the little parts from Geralt, will change. Whereas I've beaten the regular game. So yeah, we met up with Cyrilla. We defeated the Wild Hunt, and we beat the main game. So it's interesting. I wonder what the other sort of talking points, if you're partway along and whatever, what happens.
All right. Give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a Witcher?
I think it's the only thing he knows, and anybody that says they wouldn't has no idea what else they do.
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Exactly.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a Witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a Witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
Okay. I mean, Geralt's in the rush. I'm in no rush. Oh, hey, there he is. Cool. Still doing all right on time, too. See if you got the eye.
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
We'll just...
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted wight. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted wight before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted wights. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the wight survived, entirely unmolested.
Okay. So what about the curse?
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse, in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the Wight's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Okay. So yeah, I guess that's sort of telling us you don't have to kill the Wight, we don't need the head, we don't need body parts, whatever, just saliva. So I think I've read that we can maybe lift the curse, so we'll have to see if we can do that.
Wights rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted Wight after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted Wight is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
I guess we gotta go and check it out.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that Wight. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the Wight will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the Wight to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Okay, that makes sense. Why start something if you're not sure what's gonna happen? Alright, so let's read the bestiary. Learn... Whoops. Nope. Wrong one. Alright, so I'm just gonna have to go all the way through... Ah, okay, so it was necrophages. I was being idiotic. Stay calm and leave them alone. If threatened, however, they become very dangerous. Okay, so we use... I don't know what that's trying to do. So yeah, we've got Irden, we've got Igni, light on fire, necrophage oil. So that should be it. Let us walk. Let us leaf. Oh, come on, Roach. Alright, we'll wait for the horse to come over here. Yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll head over to the Wight's lair. We'll see how much time we're at then. Right now we're at about 30 minutes in. I don't want to take too long. So... Excuse me. Very foggy this day.
Bandages.
What's that about?
We've got, seems like a guy. Oh, it looks like a knight.
The dressings. Bandages. Where did I put them?
Dude's dead, dude.
Forget it. Bandages won't do him any good.
What? Oh, but he breathed still a moment ago.
Breathed his last then. Bled to death. Legs broken, femoral arteries ruptured. Wound like that, you're dead in minutes.
Gods.
What happened here exactly?
I was rolling through, fully loaded, when I heard screams. This one crawled towards the road, then drooped to the ground, lost consciousness. I jumped down to help him, dress his wounds. Then you appeared.
Okay.
Pretty admirable stopping to help a stranger.
Truthfully, when I saw him, I considered it might be an ambush. The thought entered my mind, I near decided to crack the whip. But to abandon a man in need? It's simply not the decent thing to do.
Decent enough in many other places, believe me. Before you go on, clean your hands thoroughly and burn your shirt. Might also want to rub some thyme on your body to be sure. Smell of blood might attract ghouls otherwise.
Who might you be, precisely?
Oh, come on.
Witcher.
Oh. Do you expect some beast might have killed him?
I guess we'll find out.
See what we have here. Legs broken, but cause of death's the wound. Small but deep, edges unfrayed. Either a thrust weapon or a thick claw. Maybe a wyvern's. Tough to say. And breastplate's unusual. Dented. It's got a patina.
An antiquity, I believe. I deal in these things, so... what's puzzling is, why did he don it?
Not likely to learn that from him. Now to figure out where he came from. From that house, I'm assuming, but need to investigate. Got some work to do. So long.
Guess we're gonna go investigate the house instead.
Wait, I will come with you.
Why?
So be it. But stay close, keep it down, and don't touch a thing.
I guess we're doing this instead. Extreme cosplay. What?
Must have been here he broke his legs. Fell while climbing over the wall. Trying to leave the property probably, after he didn't manage to open the gate inside. Clearly been jostled though. Something tried to get out.
Okay.
Damn it. Servant.
gods.
Stabbed to death. Over a dozen blows with a sharp object. Some post-mortem.
I'm gonna take the food, of
Silver
course.
tableware. Elven engravings.
Okay, so fancy people.
Torso punctured with great force. Blow pierced hardened steel. Man on the high road. Breastplate was identical.
So
Throats massacred. One mighty blow. Shield along sides old and dented. Sword ceremonial. And Shea handiwork clearly.
okay, so Elven handiwork on that.
Ceremonial bowls. For little sacrifices.
Of what? Please, do not say humans.
Well, I don't know, dude. You think what? I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Burn marks. Something catch fire. Explode. Strong stench.
Let's go follow the stench, I guess. I don't care about the guy there. It's just a lot of dead people. Something's in this area.
Perhaps there's no one inside after...
I know you're in there. Breathing's loud and clear. Open up. We mean you no harm.
Yeah, what the hell is going on?
They remain there?
What did you do? What happened to your face? What are you doing?
Listen, I'm a witcher. I'm here to help you. But if that's gonna happen, you gotta answer some questions first. Who are you exactly?
Durant Faucher Plamonton de Sepharan, Lord of these lands, and Chairman of the Society of Friends of the History of Toussaint.
Okay.
We meet here annually to mark the anniversary of the Elven homage. But something like this, why, it's a first.
What happened? Can
You
I get
mentioned
that?
them. Who do you mean?
Those, I don't know what they were, spirits. It all occurred of a sudden. We were staging a scene, the death of paying homage. There was a flash of light that blinded me completely. I heard cries, though saw nothing, and then felt my own robes were in flames. I broke and ran, threw off my doublet, leapt in here, and it shut and locked the door behind me. They pounded on the door. I thought they would get through. I thought I was done for, but in the end, it grew calm.
So while reenacting a scene from the past, somehow, unintentionally, you summoned a specter, a Korgorath, or a tube, maybe.
What?
A what?
What now?
Best thing? You gotta do it again, of course.
Are you mad? Would you have this thing kill us?
I mean, I'm a
No,
witcher.
don't want it to kill anyone. Precisely why I gotta do my job. Summon it again, whatever it is, and tend to it once and for all. Durand, think I can reenact the pledge? The giving of homage, alone?
It was a great, momentous event. The surrender of Toussaint's last elfin king. You will need at least 3 individuals.
There we go. You're all in.
You know what I'm gonna ask for. Need your help. But I'll understand if you turn me down. No objections? Good. Let's get to work. Start by clearing the corpses. Got some time. Won't start the reenactment before nightfall. Things of this sort are a lot more likely to work after dusk. One last thing, though. My pay. Don't work for free, you know.
Understood. Just keep the danger at bay, and I shall be generous. Through and through.
I usually negotiate my pay, but I guess this is a first where we're not. Oh, good, and we didn't have to actually do anything to wait. Oh, those
I will
things.
stand, or rather, sit in for King Ludovic upon the elfin throne, while you, Witcher, will play the Enche ruler. We must don the costumes. All must be just right.
Detlaff, the Elven king, hosted Ludovic in his own palace upon his own throne, amidst the blinding glow of a plethora of torches.
Alright, so we gotta light all the torches. I don't want to loot yet. Well, I can loot this one. E. Okay, we've got another one right there. We're probably gonna need those. Oh, are we over encumbered? That's fine.
Detlaff laid at Ludovic's feet alone.
Alright, let me actually toss 1.5. Let me toss this. Oh, I didn't want to put it on. Let me drop it. Okay, there we go.
And elfin bread, thus granting humans rule over seed-yielding lands.
Alright, so we're gonna place the offering there.
Filled the ornate ceremonial bowls with elven wine. Gwinoet, the sweetest blood of the land that had been torn from him. Long last, the elfin king grasped his sword and shield, thus symbolically passing command.
Okay, so let me don the ceremonial sword. Is that actually... It's not too bad, really. And then the shield. Okay, we put it right there.
Of his armies to humans.
Okay, let me draw the
Elven king, erect Ludovic, then spake.
Alright, cool.
I accept your allegiance and shall return in 1 year's time to...
There we go.
Look! Look! The statues!
Impossible! God's mother!
Alright, let me pull out... Let me quick sort. Oh. This is actually better than my regular sword. Okay, let me do swallow. You son of a mother duck, dude. I'm dead. I'm dead. I died. Who dies? Why? Wow, okay. I guess I'm dead. God, these loading screens are too long. Please don't tell me we're way at the beginning. Okay, good. Alright, we've got way too many people. What the fuck, man? I'm gonna have to use that. Come on, I can't see anything. What the hell is going on, dude? What is... Why? Why? Why am I getting attacked? What is that? What is that? Why? Stop! Stop it right now. Knock it off. Knock it off. This is dumb. This is dumb, dude! What is this? What is this? What is this crap? Get the F out of here. Get the f out of here. Knock it off. Oh my god. Knock it off! Me, dude! This is pissing me off! Come on! Come on! Come on! What is this garbage, dude? Eat all the pork in the world. It's these stupid sons of bitches. Finally. Oh my gosh.
The sculptures, they came alive. By what witchcraft?
Dunno. Specialize in killing monsters. Reviving them, not so much.
I may know what happened. The statues, you see, once stood in the palace of one Detlaff. I acquired them a month past because perhaps I should start at the beginning.
No, I'm okay.
This Detlaff was to pay tribute to humans, producing statues of this sort each year. Yet he did so but once, for he perished in the massacre of non-humans at the foot of Mount Gorgon in the year 782. It's fortunate he did too, as Detlaff had planned Ludwig's downfall, for he sculpted not statues, but columns that masqueraded as such. Columns activated with words said in homage. Columns that would have turned the king and his bodyguards into so much colorful confetti.
Typical. Treachery embodied. Elves. Psheh.
Well, yeah, humans didn't seem to be much better when they massacred all the non-humans.
You're no better. Elves were just defending their territory. You humans took it, but you still weren't sated. Had to cut the elves down, every last one.
You? What does that mean? You're a man as we are.
Yeah, in a way. Just ashamed to have to admit it sometimes.
Your words? They're wrong, Witcher. But I'll not let you leave empty-handed. Take this. Reward.
You're dang right I get a
Farewell.
reward. That was a pain in the ass. Oh, yeah, now we're over encumbered. Okay. Alright, so let me drop something not worth a whole lot. I mean, it's mostly like this stuff right here, and even that, I don't really need it. Did I drop my armor? Yeah, we gotta take that. Okay. Alright, well... Unfortunately, we wasted enough time on that mission, and we are way past our regular time, so we're gonna end it here. So we did a little bit of talking with Regis. We're gonna go to the Wight in order to try and get the Wight's saliva to complete a decoction that will allow us to try and find where Detlaff is. That's the Beast of Toussaint, if you can't remember. So we're gonna do that in the next part. We're gonna go talk, well, not talk with the Wight, but we're gonna go to the Wight's lair and see what we can do, see if we can get the saliva without killing the Wight, or what we're gonna have to do there. Maybe even solve the curse. So check out for that in part 17. I think for now we're going to be done. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to do the usual YouTube stuff for the video, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. And be sure to check back in next week for part 17. I think that's all for us today. This is Tatman, signing off.